Good afternoon. Welcome to the live stream. James with Team Finish Strong here this afternoon. And boy, what a surprise we got when we woke up this morning, finding out that Zwift has just expanded to a new world. So I'm here in Zwift today, giving it a try. This new world is called Yorkshire, and it is supposed to be replicating the final circuit, the Harrogate circuit, of the 2019 UCI Worlds that's going to be held later this month. So if I understand correctly, Zwift, in connection with this event, is going to be having a series of virtual events leading up to the in real life event that's going to be taking place in that area and finishing up in Yorkshire. So I'm excited to get started. We're going to go ahead. We've got a new world. We've also got a new calendar here. As you can see, there are a number of days in the month of September where people are going to get a chance to ride in Yorkshire. So we've got plenty of opportunities here to check it out. And let's see what we got for routes. Looks like we've got probably about a half a dozen routes available to us. The course looks like the total course is about 8.6 miles long. In a loop that you can see here that heads out of town, up through some countryside and back. And we've got a few different varieties of options here. You've got some short loops here that go counterclockwise. And let's see, okay. And another loop that goes around this counterclockwise as well. So, and then what do we got here? And then we've got some variety. So you can see here, there's a few different routes that you can try for a variety of lengths as well as elevation gain that's available to you. What we're going to do though, we are going to do the 2019 World Cup World Circuit. And from what I've seen on Zwift Power, it looks like it's going to be a rather bumpy ride, so to speak. And bumpy, but what I mean by that is that a lot of up and down, not a lot of flats. So I'm here in the world at the start finish line. So if we've got some folks that are going to be riding with us, shout out to Greg. I saw you on the startup screen there. So Greg, if you're riding with us, give me a shout out in Zwift on the companion app. Let me know. We'll find you out there on the course. As far as getting started, we'll go ahead and get a kind of a warm up here at the start finish line just to get our legs loosened up. What I'm looking to do today, oh hey, you know what? I should interrupt. Before I start, can you all see me this time? I'm not invisible, I'm not incognito today, right? I hope so. I can see myself on my broadcast screen, so give me a shout out in the chat if that's not the case, because I think I was fooled last time thinking I was live. So if I'm not, if you can't hear me, can't see me, then I've got plenty of more work to do here. But if you can, please do let me know. So you see here, we're starting out in town, and we've got some very beautiful countryside here. Let me try to get on the screen here. I don't know how faithfully this has recreated Yorkshire. Has anybody been to Yorkshire to vouch for this course? Be interesting to see what's available, how much of it is Zwift's make-believe versus in real life. You know, it's sort of like Out to Zwift. Out to Zwift, while it faithfully recreates the elevation gain, the hairpin turns, the actual scenery in Zwift is nothing like in real life. It is Zwift's version of reality. So I'm not sure if Yorkshire has followed suit in that regard, or if it in fact is going to be a faithful recreation here. I would suspect, given the fact that it went from town to countryside so quick, probably is Zwift's version of this. So as you can see here, we're already getting started with some climbing. We've got a steady 3% grade as we head out of town. See if I can get myself up on my map here. So this is all new to me. I woke up this morning, was checking out my stats on Zwift, and I happened to notice that there was a new download. So for those of you who haven't logged on to Zwift yet, Be prepared for a pretty sizable download and update that'll take several minutes, and then you'll have this world available to you. So, so one thing, at least from my recon of the route earlier, is that it's going to be somewhat of a familiar field to me. That being said, the upstate of South Carolina does not have a lot of flats. It has mostly rollers here in the foothills. So, so this will feel very much like home. So I'm looking forward to getting started here and getting on out, seeing what this course has to offer. I would say that the best analogy that I can draw to any of the other Zwift worlds might be the New York course. But I will say this: if you're not a fan of New York like I am, I'm not much of a fan of New York. And it's not as much about the rollers, the constant up and down of New York. Certainly that is certainly a little more taxing. And while I, like anybody else, I think likes the flats where possible, for me, the whole world in New York feels a bit too confining. You know, it's just being confined to Central Park. It feels more like a hamster on a wheel, you know, rather than getting out there and exploring, which is the kind of cyclist that I'm more inclined to be. So I'm looking forward to a world that has the variety of New York in terms of the terrain, but also has the interesting geography that's out there. And certainly there's probably plenty of Easter eggs that we'll be able to spot along the way, just because that's Zwift. So keep your eyes open. You never know what you might see. For me, just to illustrate that point, I was watching a Zwift community live event a week or so ago. I think it was heading out through, it might have been the Zwift Fusion ECT League race through the that Zwift expansion course, and for some reason I'm failing to remember it. It's their national park, I guess you could say, almost, with the dinosaurs. And one thing that was unexpected was that I saw something fall from a tree. It looked like it fell from the sky at first. It turned out to be a bear. And so I asked Zwift about it, and they were amused as well. It was the first time they'd ever seen the bear in the course, and so they've given it a name. It's called Jarvis. So if you want to impress your Zwift friends on your knowledge of the world, tell them about Jarvis the bear out in the Titans Grove is what it is. So, well, one thing's for sure, you don't get much of an easy warm-up here right off the start, because you're climbing right from the outset, which is normal. We've got anybody out there riding along today? I don't know if I'll end up catching up with Greg or not. I don't know where he is out on the course. Hopefully we'll cross paths. Who have we got in the chat today? Anybody want to chime in? Have you had a chance to ride the course already? So as for me, I really haven't gotten any farther in the game than a few feet beyond the start-finish banner, just to get myself acquainted with this world. Now, so even though it's set in Yorkshire, it is a complete and separate world from the London courses. So there's no connection between London and Yorkshire. It's not like the Surrey Hills or other expansions that you have in Zwift that were tied directly into the main London circuit. It's a complete course unto itself. As you saw in the opening, it's pretty much just what you see. 8 miles of loop. Not to say that it will stay that way. It could be the footprint for a complete whole new branch of expansions. And as the developer mindset in me would say that that would be a perfect fit. You know, when something grows to the point where it can't scale up too much further, maybe there's just so many folks in a particular world that that they just can't handle anymore. You know, the size of that footprint in the game is just too big. I could see partitioning it off like this and making it a whole separate world. And so I think that's what Zwift has done here, perhaps. And as you can see, we've got a lot of room to work with here in the game. We can just head straight on out for a couple miles at least, as we've done so far. Now we got something up here on the left. What do we got up here? Let's see. Looks like a construction site of sorts. Not really sure. One thing for sure about Zwift is the way that they do these worlds. They do leave plenty of room in the imagination, see, like this side street here, for what the possibilities might be in the future. So we'll see. They definitely have plenty of room to branch off here. So aside from this steady grade out of town, there isn't a lot else to do here in Yorkshire. Now, if this was a race scenario, I would tell you that would be that'd be a sapper of a climb to do at speed. You know, it certainly would. A 4 or 5 minute effort, all up. Because you know they won't take it slow. You know how that works in the Zwift races. They'll use it as a way of establishing some attrition. And let me tell you, there's plenty of places in this course where it can happen. If you see in the upper right how much up and down there is coming up, there is plenty available. Plenty of opportunities. So I think what my objective is for today's ride is to take it fairly easy on the flats and the downhills and give it a little bit of zest on the hills. And we'll see how that works out for us. And if a sprint segment comes up, I won't be able to resist that as well. So we can give that a try as well. So getting a look out here today will give everyone a feel for how long these efforts might end up being in an event, as I'm sure the calendar will start filling up with events on this course no time at all. Looking forward to my first race in Yorkshire. Got some cows. We've got human as well as bovine spectators today. Beautiful countryside. These are the kind of roads I like riding in real life, for sure. No cars, and in Zwift's case, no dogs. Gotta love it. Got a good downhill going here. Nice downhill. So we're now heading, I believe, north is how that's working out. Interestingly though, the companion app does not have the map loaded yet. I'm not sure, that's probably my fault for not getting the newest version of the companion app loaded. So keep that in mind too. If you really want to be able to see the game to any degree, make sure your companion app is up to date as well. So we're about 12 minutes into this thing, and we're probably about halfway out. I'm guessing maybe a little under halfway out. We got our next turn coming up, heading back towards town. These hills are deceptively, at least in the clockwise direction, they're deceptively flat, almost like false flats. Like here, this is 2%. So, you got to put a little bit of effort in to keep moving. And what do we got coming up here? So out in the middle of nowhere, we have got, it looks like Zwift's mascot. Anybody remember his name? I can't remember his name. The little fella that greets you when you're trying to pair up your devices. Keeps you sane when your tech's not going so well. And there he is, along with some cheering fans. And with the corner, back down again. So as we head back into town, we're going to make a sharp left into what I would call the spur of the course, which is just a segment that creates some additional mileage. And I believe that section has some punchy hills. These are more gradual. These hills here, at least in the clockwise direction, don't have much bite to them. They're just more sap you. But I do believe we got some steeper grades coming up here in just a second, as you can see, very shortly. Might even get to use my feather. Oh, cute. Nice little bridge. Oh, we're starting a KOM. Time to get some work done. Looks like about a three-minute effort. Wonder where the best place is to use this thing. Might be right here. Yeah, here we go. Starting to pick up. Yeah, that's got some bite. If you folks are having some trouble with the live stream, give me a shout out. Not sure if we're having trouble here or not. Little breather here. Time to get out of the saddle. I think that's a finish. All right. Now I'll get the heart rate up. So it's a good 3-minute climb there. Now chest your legs. Sort of like a slightly longer version of the leg snapper in Innsbruck. Not sure where we're going up here. We might be making a sharp left. See what happens. Yep. And another effort. This one doesn't give you much recovery from the last one. So keep that in mind in a race. And if I recall correctly, I think this is where the sprint has come up. Yep. I'm not rested up enough for this sprint. I'll give it a try though. All right, here it goes. All right. Short, but very sharp. Not bad. I see some folks. Some folks have been giving it a try today. Whew. This walkthrough is not going to walk in the park. Back down. And we're coming to the finish. Less than a mile. Uh-oh, drop out. Come on. Good thing that doesn't happen too often. Another hill. Oh, we dodged that one. There's our squirrel again. Another incline. Finish line's in sight. And it's a slight uphill grade. All right. Well, there it is. That's the new Yorkshire course. So, folks, glad you could join me on this little excursion. Minor self-professed. Come check it out for yourselves. There's plenty to see. Well, have a good afternoon, everyone. As always, God bless. Hope you enjoy the new expansion. Take care.